This happens to be the carpet line coming from the Nigerian Tribune this morning. FG should not push ASU to go on strike again. Committee of VCs. The banner headline this morning: price of cement soars by 60%. Exports raise alarm. But some people are still building houses, right? Let's look at the right here. Amid escalating cost of drugs, diabetic, hypertensive patients turn to God for healing. This is heartbreaking.
Very heartbreaking.
Afeba Balola laments a rising inflation rate, tells Tinubu to take action on economy. Nigerian needs urgent spiritual help. I guess Nigerians, that should be in that. Ocean judicial strike. Adeleke writes CJN AGF sets up resolution committee. And we have the front page picture of President Bola Tinubu with the Commander Nigerian Defense Army Major General J.O. Ochal presenting the souvenir to Mr. President at the Nigerian Defense Academy 60th anniversary trooping and presentation of color parade at the Oliver Ghana Parade Ground, Afaka, Kaduna State over the weekend. The reason Mr. President could not even go to Ivory Coast to,
share the
Eagles, but it is what it is, right? NDLEA arrests insurgents, a drug supplier, 23 others. And looking at another one here, how Wigway's chopper crashed, U.S. Access Bank's management announced acting CEO. Tinubu governors, others mourn. Kano anti-graft agency seals off 10 warehouses hoarding foodstuff. NAS molds a fresh legal framework for state police, a local intelligence gathering. This and more you can find from the Nigerian Tribune this morning. So we're done with the headlines, right? Okay, so the Nation was the paper that cast out this morning. Yeah. But we'll move on. Let's go straight to the burning issue. Adams Oshioma, senator, and from Edo State, a former governor of that state, and remember, a former Labour leader, talked about what state governors are doing, most especially with the current situation in the country, the state of economy, what also happened to the CBN, what Mr. President is also doing, most especially concerning inflation in Nigeria. Remember, the Nigerian Labour Congress, also the Trade Union Congress, announced over the weekend to go on indefinite, was it on Friday? Yes, which started, it was a 2-week ultimatum to the federal government. But here is the former Labour leader, Adams Oshioma, speaking concerning the 2-week ultimatum given to the federal government. He also dragged CBN and dragged state governors.
CBN was mismanaged. Some will say evil bastardized. It went into all sorts of things. I'm not sure with the best of effort they will ever be able to recover every dollar that was otherwise mismanaged, leading us to this mess that President Tinubu has inherited. What I think the system needs is a man of courage, and precisely that is what the president is demonstrating. Of course, some of the prescription in the short run, we have a huge pain, like carrying out a surgery on a patient with a life-threatening disease. Of course, he will undergo a level of pain, and even sometimes he might wonder if he will survive the surgery. But I think it's better to have the pain early in the morning, so that by evening we will have a good sleep. These are tough, but as I say, tough times don't last, tough people do. I am convinced that the president is aware that is important, and that we must keep thinking and rethinking. We must keep re-examining our assumptions as we get more informed about the scope of the crisis. We need to invent new tools to deal with these unforeseen and unimaginable problems that we have inherited in virtually in every aspect of the Nigerian economy. The bride is not to give up hope. Like somebody said, if you meet children crying and you want to make them happy, maybe you should just go and buy ice cream and give them to eat, and once they are eating it for as long as it lasts, they'll be fine. But once it's over, the hunger remains. So I think some structural, there are a couple of things that this government has to do, which is doing. What I'm excited about is that the president has the will to do the unusual. Now, there will always be a time lag between when policies are formulated, when they are put in place, when they are put in place and when the benefit of those policies begin to manifest. It can never be a 6-month program.
All right. That was Senator Adams Oshiomhole, a former comrade, and Nigerians are saying tough times doesn't last. Only tough people. And Nigerians tough. And saying that, when you have a surgery and it will be painful, it's better to have the surgery in the morning, and maybe at night the whole pains will go off.
And he even mentioned giving kids
ice cream.
Ice cream. I mean, so if I had seen him, I would have asked him that.
Is he part of the people licking the ice cream?
Or what is the ice cream that the government has even put in place for Nigerians to be licking while they wait for the benefits of these policies?
Comrade Ayodeji Ashishope is here. Has he been leaking the ice cream?
Thank God it's Monday.
Yes,
thank God it's Monday.
Thank God it's Monday. I mean, it is solutions at the 3.9 FM. We create solutions, right? We don't want to make people get bored. But have you licked the ice cream from the federal government? Are you also feeling the pains of the surgery? And when will this be better? 1, 2. We're talking about what he said concerning a bastardized CBN. That was under an APC administration. Was Adams Oshiomhole speaking the truth or trying to paint white black or black white?
Well, you're supervised by Emefiele. Emefiele did so many interventions. I mean, and the final one, the proverbial one that broke the camel's back, the legal instrument, the monetary instrument he was going to use, finally, as a last resort to tame inflation, rather, because it had become clear that money that was outside the banking circulation and banking vault was clearly, if not double, what was inside the banking vault. And as a last resort instrument to tame inflation, that Naira redesign was deployed. But we did not know early enough that Emefiele, rather than using that to tame inflation, he had his own, the one they called way back, hidden agenda. And Nigeria lost that major battle. And here we are. He inflicted pains on us, and here we are. Adams Oshiomhole has been everything in the development movement. He was the one that went in bed with the Obasanjo government when he was re-elected, and was asked, "What are you doing here when you know people this election will be challenged?" He said he does not want to be seen to be making attempts to truncate democracy. Well, we are where we are today. Same APC. The president promised he will continue from where Buhari left off, and Buhari was top to bottom, and here we are. Even you said something about Wigwe University charging in dollars. Yeah. Even Nigeria's Post Authority charges tariff in dollars, converting it to Naira. Even the Post Authority, I find that quite alarming. So everybody, include government, include the agencies, include individuals, we are all engaged in doing whatever pleases us, and there is no umpire. Even the Auditor General is not writing his report. They just submitted 2023 reports in 2020 report in 2024. Everybody is on his own doing whatever they like.
Okay. Now, let's look at some other angle here, because a lot of people feel like, okay, maybe it should have been more than expected. I don't know if you follow the story from the NANT, the Nigerian Association of Nigerian Students, saying that the student loan to be pushed in the next few days, that the federal government should wait a bit, because the Nigerian students have not imputed their own part of the whole plan to it. Can we say federal government is just doing their job, and but they just they shoved the NAND aside, and most of these plans, because with what Senator Adams Oshiomhole said, that 6 months plan to cushion the effect of the first subsidy removal, maybe too early, maybe too late. But how do you see this student loan work? It's going to be signed I mean, it's going to be active in the next few days. I mean, I think it's about the app. The app. I hope that people will not come out to start giving us another story. Well, I don't need a student loan for now. I don't think I'm not part of those who need the student loan. But do you think necessary things have been put in place? If NAS is coming out to say that they are yet to submit their own reservation concerning this.
You see, when you're putting a bill like that together, there's always a public hearing, but they know how to go about it if they don't want stakeholders to be involved. They have to write. The committee involved is supposed to write all stakeholders and invite them to a public hearing. But of course, you're not going to be holding a public hearing on Monday and then you start writing them on Thursday, when most of them are even in Lagos and scattered all over the place.
Some coming from Ivory Coast.
Aha. So how do they put a position paper together? You understand? It is not good enough to come there and start talking. You've got to put a position paper together, read from it, and submit. But you write them on Thursday, you say the public hearing starts on Monday. This is why we have outcomes like this. All the groundwork ought to have been done. They ought to have shopped for those who will constitute the board or the commission, the fundamentals and everything. January, they said, here we are, middle of February, and I'm not so sure that the conditions therein are so clear. But by the time they launch the app, and Nigerian students and intending students get on it, we're going to get live report of what is happening. Good idea. Good idea. It can be fine-tuned, it can be tweaked, and as we go on. Because I read a report this morning, and Nigerian students are selling, pawning some of their stuff to stay afloat because liquidity is no longer an easy thing. And when you study under such conditions, you know, it's not easy. You go hungry to read. You are in school, you are reading, you are hungry. That's a tough one.
I mean, it's a tough one. For some of us who were in school back then, we know we soaked Gary. Some was cornflakes. Some was...
I'm Gary.
Well, for some, it was more of noodles. And then I think it was during our own era that the whole self-contained started. Yes, some of us were more of a face me slap you. And yes, we enjoyed that. But, I mean, everything, you can't have everything at your disposal every time. It's just part of training. Yeah. But now let's move on this morning. Let's move on this morning and look at some other headlines here. I think we were talking about 70,000 naira for a bag of rice last week, and later
73.
It's 73 now.
Some said 77,000.
Oh, great!
What type of great, comrade?
We are making
progress.
We are not making progress, comrade. I don't have a cup of rice in my house.
Buy one.
Buy one, yes. I mean, comrade, I want to take you back to what comrade now Senator Senator Adams Oshiomhole.
Former comrade.
Former comrade, who is now on the side.
How do you call him former comrade?
He doesn't seem to be on our side any longer. He's on the other side now. So he was making...
My dear brother, they don't live here. They don't live here.
That's why I said.
We just occupy the Nigerian space. They don't live here.
That's why I said that he was with us before, but now he's on the other side now. So he was referring to, as in giving kids ice cream, at least to. Now, my question is, what is the ice cream that the federal government has put in place? Because every day we come here and we talk about increase in price of actually everything. Now, on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, which I know that that was going to, price of cement soars by 60%. On the Vanguard newspaper, we have this one saying higher prices loom as businesses rely more on loans to survive. We've had it on this program where we talk about individuals going to banks to obtain loans to feed. How long will Nigerians have to endure this? And now Adams Oshiomhole is saying that he's telling us that even 6 months is too short. So that means we should we fasten our seatbelt and know that
we are in for a long ride,
bumpy ride, which sounds scary to me.
Yes. The fundamentals. Let's look at them. Power. We do not have it.
We don't.
Energy sources. You know what PMS is talking. You know what AGO, the one we call diesel, is talking. Now, production. When you factor all those things into production, you know the end result. Oh, we have not factored cost of money. When you want to produce and you are borrowing, at interest rates that you cannot even you can hardly make profit on it. Of course, you pass the cost to the consumer. And the consumer's purchasing power is diminishing by the day because Nigeria's economy is dollar denominated. You say, yes, we spend naira here, but even when the Post Authority charges are dollar denominated, yes, you pay in naira, but they base it on the exchange rate of a dollar to 1,480 something. So therefore, you pay in naira, but it is dollar calculated. It is dollar denominated. Therefore, federal government is even Post Authority is a federal government agency. They are charging us in naira, but dollar denominated naira. What else do you expect? Now, the economy, we are not producing. When this government came, they lifted ban on 43 items, luxury items, that they placed a ban on, and they say go and collect foreign exchange, go and collect your own share of foreign exchange. And I found it very ridiculous. The central bank governor said in his justification that non-availability of foreign exchange for them in the open market, in the official market, was putting pressure on the naira in the black market. So give them at the official rate. Then the pressure will be off in the black market. As the pressure being off the black market, we are deceiving ourselves. So all the parameters by which you can measure the economy, it can only be upward review. Then the manufacturing companies at the end of the day, their stock will increase in the storage. And then they won't be able to sell what they have. Because the purchasing power of the Nigerian worker or the Nigerian citizen has gone down. People are buying absolutely what they need now. Not that I like this. It is I need this. It is no more like.
And you know,
not more want.
Comrade, another heartbreaking story that we read it the other time from Tribune as well. Amid escalating cost of drugs, diabetic, hypertensive patients turn to God for healing because people can't even afford drugs.
Comrade, Damola Lafewa, comrade, just give us, guys, give me 2 minutes. Let's go on a break, and when we come back, and
all right.
Yes, so we can focus on this more. Do not go anywhere.
Right.
Still from the dailies on Solutions 939 FM.
The drama, the suspense, the emotions, the gang moments. Don't miss out on Nollywood movies and web series on YouTube with the YouTube Buffet plan from MTN. You can enjoy over 10 hours of Nollywood content made for you. Sharply dial *312*800# to activate the YouTube Buffet plan from MTN and start enjoying YouTube made for you.
Every day when my children return from school, I don't recognize them. Hello, do I know you?
It's us, mommy.
But these dirty, sweaty uniforms and socks, we're clean in the morning. Everything don't transform. I understand though. School is hectic. It takes energy to come home this transformed. So I make sure they have some nutritious Milo at breakfast.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them the new and improved Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo.
Ẹ káàárọ̀ nílùú Ìbàdàn.
Afford food, let alone drugs now. Now, my question is, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been talking about the policies that he introduced. He even said that he deserves
to be on the Guinness World Record.
On the Guinness World Record for the policies. Now, the question is, are these policies truly yielding positive results? And this result, if they are yielding positive results, who are the beneficiaries of this result? Is it the federal government or the masses?
Or the churches and mosques? or the local drug makers.
Or should we say the federal government is merely chasing shadows with its policies?
You see, as an elder statesman, when the two moves were made at inaugural, the two windows of foreign exchange were unified. And the language they use is Naira was floated. We floated our national currency. When there is no production ongoing, we floated our national currency, and then subsidy was removed. Go and check it. There was applause. And where did the applause come from? The applause came from the Bretton Woods institutions. And then the 43 items, luxury items that were placed under a restriction were also lifted. These are standard procedure Bretton Woods institution positions. And of course, the Bretton Woods institution started cheering them on. Is it healthy for us? Was there even a plan? You understand? That is what the elder statesman will say. He said, look, the president said he was suddenly seized by a patriotic zeal for courage, and then he removed subsidy. Senator Ladoja, former governor of Oyo State, will say, let there be provision before prohibition.
Definitely.
When you say don't do this, make an alternative, a viable alternative available. Because if you say don't take it anymore and you don't make alternative provision, people are going to find a way of taking it. So these are the challenges before us. We remove subsidy, we unify the exchange windows without production. The bedrock of any economy is production. We are not producing. And what we are producing is so costly that we're not competitive. Have you heard that Gary is being imported from Colombia or what now? Have you seen it?
Well, I don't want to see that, and I will not want to believe that, and I will not want to follow this idea of saying we are importing Gary. I mean, if you go to Kila after Akpata, they have Gary there. If you go to Oyo, there's Gary. You go to Abeokuta, there's Gary. So why are we importing Gary? They should place a ban on that.
If you go to Oyo, he's saying there's Ashofi. If you go to Oje, there's Ashofi. Why do we import Ashofi from China? I will proudly wear it. That is how bad things are. And Nigerians will eat it. They will think it is better that because it is imported. It is imported. That is a mental default. Anything imported is better than what is ours, than what is Nigeria. What kind of a people are that? When one of the India's leaders came, he said, anything we do not produce, we do not wear. Anything we do not produce, we professionals, doctors, nurses, teachers, engineers. Can you imagine? And you expect that those nations will bring up a blueprint that will make you advance to their own level? We're deceiving ourselves. Let me tell you, even this democracy that we practice, maybe it's copy and paste, and we're even trying to domesticate it. Sociologists, psychologists, anthropologists, and political scientists have concluded that this Western democracy is not our thing. We are not Democrats in that model. We are Democrats, but we are not Democrats in the Western model. They did what is suitable for them. You cannot bring it here and just paste it. Obasanjo was busy in his days as military head of state saying we will transfer of technology. I kept asking myself, even as young as I was then, you transfer. Is it that you just press button and transfer? Any country that was backward, they stole technology. And when they stole it, they domesticated it. I recall a professor of English for that matter, who piloted this 6-year thing in Ife. Language of instruction was Yoruba, and they taught them until secondary school. English was taught as a subject like physics, math, and they saw the difference. It was aborted. if we domesticate, look, how many engineers do you produce that can fix even their own cars, mechanical engineers? We are deceiving ourselves. All these things will not take us anywhere. The parameters, the fundamentals are faulty. How can the fundamentals be faulty and you expect the result, the outcome? Or my father will say the outcome is predictable. And I would just want to add, politicians think of the next election, statesmen think of the next generation.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Comrade Adedamola, for your time on the show this morning. I mean, the one you said that hits me on my head or inside my brain is importing Gary. Import that you can. Okay. Thank you very much, Comrade. Don't let us drag this.
Have a wonderful, most fruitful week.
And you too, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
And you too. Damola Lafewa.
Yes.
No. Importing Gary.
Now, who do we blame?
I've not seen an imported Gary before. Maybe a packaged Gary in Nigeria, and they now wrote from China, from Bangladesh, because
can they even make it as good as we do?
Or maybe they wanted to export the Gary.
Oh, okay.
So maybe the leftover was now seen in Nigeria. I don't know. Maybe if you guys have also gotten exported Gary. I'm sorry, imported Gary. If you are listening to the show now, let's know.
That was quite revealing to me when Comrade Adedamola mentioned it. I never knew. I never knew.
When I went to Oyo, behind my in-laws' house, they have this people frying Gary. And I was still saying, why will I get Gary in that place? I would love to go to Abeokuta to get Gary Egba, or even go to Kila. Kila you can get in bags, in large quantity. But remember, I think from Friday till Saturday, even till Sunday, a lot of medical experts went on social media to advise Nigerians that wanted to watch the final of the African Cup of Nations to check their blood pressure, to check their health as well. But I think the last time I went to the pharmacy to buy an anti-malaria drugs, I had to go for the cheapest, because the one that could even work for me, I think then when I lost my voice, I was meant to spend 3,000 naira, and I looked my account. Look, if I'm buying this, that means I'm buying these 3,000 naira drugs. So like, I'll use it for like a week, and I'm going to buy like 3 of it. That means I'll spend like 9,000 naira.
You can imagine.
And you, Damola, I have to wrap up the show here, because I just have to. We have to leave the show. But I believe Mr. President is listening right now, and I believe Nigeria will be better.
Well, I let me to add to what you said. I want to believe that he's listening and he's actually feeling the pains the Nigerians are feeling. We Nigerians.
Or maybe we should also look at the angle of the way Nigerians are turning to God. So I think maybe you heard that of going for local medicine, going for herbal medicine. Maybe this is the time we should be going for herbal medicine, because it was Comrade Adedamola was saying that we are not producing drugs, we are just packaging drugs in Nigeria.
Okay, I think. Well, I don't even know what to say.
Well, coming up next is Solutions Clinic with Victory Richard. I know if he removes his glasses, Victory come in. If he removes his glasses now, I guess maybe his eyes will be red, because he has been saying that Nigeria must win the Africa Cup of Nations. My friend, remember I told you on Friday. But now, why did you watch the game, or were you monitoring online? Because I was seeing your house. So let me touch your.
The last thing I would do is to overflog this AFCON game.
No, we are not overflogging it. We are not overflogging it. We are not
But I want
overflogging
to
it.
especially thank Mwabali for being the defender, the goalkeeper, the footballer, everything. He represented football in all its entirety yesterday.
But-
So thank you. And
Yeah.
Osime, of course. As for
Iwobi.
Aina and Iwobi, had he been I know you now.
Okay. You are not, you
Mission was